Can we start over?
Oh my god. As
What?
Redo.
okay, no.
It's a good one.
You're out and you just see someone random that you think is cute, and then you just hook up with them, but nothing else after that. You're just like a random person.
Yeah, that.
I think the hookup culture would be appropriate, and I think a hookup is classified as sex.
I think the hookup culture is pretty prevalent in college, and it's just about like going out and getting with chicks.
What?
I guess going to a party on the weekend, going home with someone, doing some physical things, and then leaving the next morning.
I feel like it's like almost less here
Yeah,
than
just because.
other like bigger schools, like a Madison or a
Yeah,
like
I feel like people here
OU
are
or
more
something.
reserved,
yeah.
more into their studies.
I think the hookup culture is the same at Loyola than it is at other schools.
I don't think the hookup culture is like different from school to school. I think it's pretty much like a similar thing throughout college and like in young adult people's lives.
I think it's different from other schools. I mean, I think it's just what I said. I don't think Loyola has a specific type of hookup culture that's different.
At least for people I know, I feel like you get like a Tinder or Bumble, but you never like actually
Like follow through with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on the person.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a relationship, then yes,
Yeah.
it's helped.
Yeah, it does change the hookup culture because I know people who use it to find hookups.
Yeah, I think so, because I think having those like apps available like makes it easier for the hookup culture to exist.
Yes.
Definitely. I agree with that statement.
The what?
No, I don't think so. At least from a girl's standpoint, I don't think so. It might be different from like a guy, but
Yeah, I think for a guy it has because they like have like a lot of expectations, high expectations.
I think guys just watch it more than girls do.
I'd say probably to some extent. Guys probably expect like different things out of girls when it comes to hooking up because of like pornography. So yeah.
I think 50 Shades of Grey has.
A big part. I feel like
Yeah,
if it wasn't for alcohol, I don't think it would be as big of a thing like hookups.
Definitely a pretty big role because I feel like the hookup culture kind of revolves around alcohol. I mean, everyone kind of thinks about hooking up when they're like drunk and not as much so when they're sober. So I think it's a pretty big role.
I guess it impairs some judgment. You know, you have what people call beer goggles, that you think it's a good decision at the time, and the next morning you wake up and you're like, that was not a good decision.
Probably not when they graduate, but maybe like couple years down the road. But like right after you graduate, I still feel like you're young and will do it unless you're like dating.
ready to settle down.
Yeah.
I would disagree with that because I have firsthand experience with people I know who have graduated and they're still going to town.
Yes and no. I think it depends on the personality the person has. I guess to some extent. You know, some people want to settle down quicker than others, and some people just want to keep playing the field for a while.
Because people get attached. And sometimes someone that you're hooking up with is not on the same page.
I think the physical is like you can get abused and like during while you hook up, and the emotional is like people could think a hookup is like, oh, like we're gonna start dating or something, and also another physical is like AIDS. I think you get AIDS and like I think you can get like AIDS and chlamydia out of like doing hookups.
Just those.
Physical risk, like you never usually hookup culture happens with like people you don't really know super well, so there's always the risk of like abuse or contracting some sort of STD disease, whatnot. Emotional, yeah, I mean you never know when someone's gonna catch feelings and could get messy from there.
I feel like for a guy, it's like if you hook up with a bunch of people, it's fine.
Yeah. It's like
But
cool
for a girl,
almost.
you're like looked at as a whore. Or
Yeah, you're looked more down upon.
I think men, they're judged as savages if they hook up with a girl, and if girl hooks up with a guy, if she hooks up with too many guys, and she's looked up as a whore.
I feel like men are like more so stereotyped as like it being like something to be proud of, like hookup culture, whereas women are somewhat shamed for it in society today. So yeah.
I mean, I think you have that double standard of like the girl is the slut, the whore, she was asking for it type of thing, whereas the guy's like kind of just brags about it to his friends, like no big deal.